Alright guys, this has been a hotly requested video. This is going to be a how to rule the arena video. In this video, we're going to be breaking down what I think is the current best arena team. 3 examples of teams that can beat this. I'm actually going to show 2 of them losing because they kind of happened early on in the life cycle of the Secret Defenders. Surprise! Secret Defenders are good on defense. And they've kind of been phased out. So I'm going to show the kind of evolution of this, the best one. But like, disclaimer, none of this is mine. I hate the arena. I do not craft teams for the arena because I think it is full of collusion. No, I know it's full of collusion. 20 people decide you don't get to get top 10. Fun game mode. Really stupid payout times. I hate that. I think that there are so many other games that do arena better. I would love arena to get an overhaul, even if it gives less cores to the top, 1 through 10. But it gives more cores overall to everybody. I think that'd be way better if it was like, hey, your highest arena rank is what you get for the day, but it can't be 500, it maxes at like 300. I think that would be way better. I hate the arena. I don't craft teams for the arenas. So these 3 examples come from 3 different content creators. Links to their videos and to their channels will be in the description below, as well in the comment section. Some of these you might find a bit controversial, but it is what it is. Hey, when someone makes a good team, it's a good team. And if we're going to use it to do good in the mode, we're going to use it to do good in the mode. So let's get into that. But first, a word from today's sponsors, Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. I'd like to give a huge thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. This fantasy RPG is the most unique gacha game on the market today. With over 40 clans to choose from, there is no shortage of agency in this game, but that's literally just the tip of the iceberg. With the air system incorporated, there are over 4,000 possibilities for characters. You can match some of the most removed fantasy clans ever and create some of the coolest playable characters in gaming history. Download the game using the link in the description below or the QR code on the screen. Right now though, let's talk more about what Bloodline has to offer you. This game delivers in a big way. Not just in quality of the graphics, not just in quality of agency, but in the gameplay. The gameplay doesn't miss a beat. Whether you're building your districts, competing in the campaigns, competing in the arena, diving into the dungeon descent, ruling the Valley of Conquerors, taking down the big bosses, or taking on other guilds in the guild conquest, you're never going to be bored with this game. My favorite mode is the Guild Conquest mode. This PvP mode is super rewarding in both the gameplay and the rewards. Make sure you do your part. You can walk away with the uber rare Bloodcraft legendary characters. These special characters can only be unlocked through the Guild Conquest. Bloodline is also evolving and adding new features and clans to the games every fortnight, like the upcoming Thunder Lords, who look to be the incredible powerhouses, or the recently released Shark Champions. That's right, Bloodline is always willing to push the envelope and increase the scope of the game. So what are you waiting for? Download the game right now using the link in the description below or that QR code on the screen. You also receive a free starter pack valued at $20. Come and join me and let's take over Lithis.
Download free now.
Alright guys, so the top defense in the game right now, I think it's this top one right here, okay? So it's gonna be the Secret Defenders with Apocalypse over Doctor Strange. I've seen the Doctor Strange one, it completely falls flat. The next one would be with Quicksilver instead of Photon, but that one you're giving up the speed advantage. If someone just goes in there with their 4P Secret Defenders, they can rewind your Apocalypse and it's a nightmare. There's lots of teams that counter that. And then finally there's the Doom one that has the exact same issue because the turn meter rewind is not in your favor. An enemy can come in with Miss Marvel, do a turn meter rewind on that Apocalypse and the Doom unless you separate them, but then you're kind of leaving the chains up to some questionable decision making. I've also just always seen that Doom immediately blow up the second he gets hit by like any sort of built up Black Cat special. Those bleeds just annihilate. And because the Miss Marvel on defense defaults using her ultimate, you're not going to get that defense up on Doom to help him. So it's just an absolute nightmare. So like, why wouldn't we sub anybody else out? Well, Robbie, he's giving the damage. Miss Marvel does the taunt, the anti-apocalypse. Black Cat is, of course, a turn 1 stun with trauma, crazy damage, retaliations, you name it. Just a real pain in the butt, right? And Photon, she does damage. She also is able to like pop off with her passive. She does a couple blinds, don't really matter. And then Apocalypse is Apocalypse. So this is the team we're going to be facing off against in all of our testing here. And obviously this isn't the apex defense team. That position is definitely reserved for Super Skrull, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video. But for now, let's go watch some footage. Alright guys, we're going to start off this journey by talking about some of the recommended teams people are giving now. I don't actually know if this team is still being recommended. This was the team when Black Cat first came out, and she did not have red stars on her. There is an issue with the damage of it, which we're going to show. I'm going to show the worst case scenario. I'm also going to show a misplay, so keep that in mind. We'll identify the misplay when we get in there, but I'm not going to redo this team. I no longer use this team because there is sort of a best option now. This was done by SeggsyJexy, and when the time he did it, it was the best team. There's no question about that. So make sure you go check out SeggsyJexy. He's like a theory crafting master, Crucible War, Arena, all that stuff. So he does great content. Here's the mistake right here, I think. I do the ultimate with Miss Marvel. That seems like a really stupid thing to do because I put taunt up, where if I had done the Miss Marvel special, I believe it puts defense up. The text is flaring right there. So my Doom dies. If Doom doesn't die, my Apocalypse is the one that goes for the ride, not Kang, which is perfect. I kill the Miss Marvel, then I use his ultimate. I don't ultimate with right away. So this was a good counter. It worked for the time being. Right now, I think Black Cat, if she were to put 2 bleeds on Doom, I think he would still get knocked below 50% and the bleeds would kill him. But the worst case scenario would actually be if he doesn't get knocked below 50%, he gets those bleeds, and then he gets hit by a couple passes, whether it be from Robbie Reyes or Photon. That extra damage plus the bleeds would then kill Doom. And for the record, my Doom is gear tier 17, 6 red stars, level 95. And you saw what happened when he didn't have defense up. Defense up might change it a bit. Maybe there's barrier in her special. It will be on the screen here, but I've fallen out of love with this counter. I don't think it's as good as the others, so let's move on to the others. All right, so this would be our second counter. We're going to be doing a punch across here. Sorry, I didn't actually record who that first team was up against. So it's going to be the 3-piece Secret Defenders. We're taking out Photon in lieu of Quicksilver. Yes! Here's the problem with this. Quicksilver's a dark motion character. I know a lot of people haven't chose to upgrade him. He's an amazing character. He ranks very high on the dark promotions. For what it's worth, here he was 5 red stars. I've since upgraded him to 6 red stars because that's how much I like the character. Yes, I need DPCs for Zombie Juggernaut. We'll have to do another DPC video. I really want Zombie Juggernaut to be high red stars, but because I'm not really spending money anymore, he's going to be low yellow stars anyway, and like the first 3 red stars are pretty cheap. And since I got to play test him, and you guys saw, he works really good at 3 yellow, 3 red. So I'm going to be happy to use that. Hey, yeah, me and my wife were going to the park. She was giving me directions, so sorry about the texts coming in. So the way this works is you're basically able to kill the Miss Marvel and then your Apocalypse goes, but it can go super sideways if you don't get enough vulnerables for your Quicksilver to hit into, if the Miss Marvel is just too chunky, if the enemy team is just landing too many bleeds so the Robbie Reyes basically laps everybody, it becomes a huge issue. You see, there's only 1 vulnerable on the Miss Marvel right now, so I have to do this special so that it gives her defense down, but my Quicksilver is still unable to kill her. And even if he was able to kill her, there was way too many bleeds thrown on my team. Robbie Reyes lapped, and my Apocalypse is dead. Now, this was the counter I was using for a very long time. I believe this one came from Dogbert. I'm going to try and find all these content creators' videos when they initially found these in the comment sections below and in the description. So make sure you check them out. Make sure you follow them. This was great while it lasted, and then it stopped lasting. So I no longer use this one anymore. Now let's move on to what I think is objectively the best counter, and we'll talk about when it's going to stop working. So here, I think this is the best counter that we're going to be having right now. This is going to be a punch across. I've done up to 300k punch-ups against Pong D. Bryant in my arena. Shout out to him. I did have a video facing him and beating it, but then I did a misplay, so I didn't want to show that since I do think this is the best one. Shout out to One Piece fans too, by the way. Great real-life adaptation. No, that's not right. Great adaptation on Netflix that I know a lot of people are excited for, myself included. Here's a slight punch-up. Big Time Spider-Man. Big Time Spider-Man, another dark motion character, not nearly as influential as Quicksilver. I know, that's horrible. The good news is we don't really need him at high red stars, if any, for this to work, and we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and get into the fight, and we'll break it down piece by piece, because I think this one deserves kind of a cerebral dissection of what's happening here. So this right here is why this match works. Now there's other little nuances we need to make sure we are adhering to, but this is the opening ability. This is a 7 red, 7 yellow, gear tier 18 hard light. If she were to get her taunt up, it would suck for us. The Quicksilver one wouldn't work. The Doom one would have problems just getting through the Miss Marvel, so that could be real tough. Spider-Man Big Time, if there's only 4 Secret Defenders, goes first. And with this opening ultimate, he's going to flip her defense up, and he's going to give her Disrupt. The Disrupted is the big thing, so she cannot taunt. Now, Spider-Man Big Time's ultimate, I believe it gains 1000% focus. It has unblockable, cannot be dodged, not that she has any of that. And then it hits everybody else. So I really like him as a raider. He doesn't need the focus for this because of that 1000% focus, and he can get vulnerables on other people, most notably Apocalypse. Here's another thing to mention. It doesn't matter if Apocalypse counters the big time Spider-Man and kills him, he's not there for damage. It doesn't matter if the Apocalypse counters him and gets speed up. It doesn't matter. Your Apocalypse is going to go first because what happens next. So let's go ahead and show that. So here comes the ultimate. You see the Disrupt lands. I would say you don't need any yellow stars on big time for this to work. You probably just need to level him up properly. He's great in Dark Dimension 6 if people want to use him. And when I say he's great, I mean he's cheap on tech. I'm in City right now. He doesn't do damage. He kind of helps with some pre-taunts. But it's all about Robbie. It's all about, I don't know. Big Time's, he's kind of a really weird character, but he's great in this instance. I'll talk about when he's no longer going to be a thing. All right. So then we have Miss Marvel. She goes up in the air, and we're going to make sure we aim that rewind at Apocalypse. Because we're not stuck behind the hard light taunt, we can do that. 30% rewind guarantees my Apocalypse goes first. So now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do a little bit of damage to Apocalypse. We want to make sure we don't push him to 50%. So maybe you don't want to do all the attacks I'm about to show. But you could, because you could also stun Apocalypse. So I'm going to take all of his buffs off with Robbie Reyes special. And this is why I don't like Robbie as a striker currently in the arena. But that'll change when we get Super Skrull. We got to talk about Super Skrull later. So Apocalypse is going next. Now, if Black Cat was going next, you could risk stunning the Robbie Reyes and just see if you get enough bleeds on Apocalypse to kill him, which is very likely. Or you could stun the Apocalypse for safety and go from there. What I wouldn't suggest is like stunning Miss Marvel, and then the Black Cat just happens to rebound all the way over, hits him once, then he ults, then it's a whole gong show, right? But if your Apocalypse goes first, here's the issue. My Robbie Reyes, there is a passive on Robbie Reyes, and when he gets 5 charges, he throws up fire on everybody, he gives Disrupt to them. That puts Disrupt on Miss Marvel, and then I could use my Apocalypse ultimate. That didn't happen here, so here's a little bit of nuance. If your Robbie Reyes hasn't put Disrupt on everybody, because Miss Marvel does clear the initial Disrupt, then you need to use the Apocalypse special, not the ultimate. So here I go with the Apocalypse special. This puts ability block on the enemy Apocalypse. It's also just going to kill him because of the defense down that he has. But that you don't want to risk the ultimate. Another reason you don't want to do the ultimate is because, sure, the ISO attack might have killed the enemy Apocalypse. However, then Miss Marvel's taunting, and then Robbie Reyes is popping off. Photon's popping off. Yeah, they're covered in debuffs. I probably would still be fine. But let's play this properly. So we do the special. Hardlight's not taunting. Now I'm going to go kill Robbie Reyes. Now that is the kill order here. You think, oh, you should go for Photon, get the extra damage out there. No, kill Robbie Reyes. So it goes Apocalypse, Robbie Reyes, Photon, Hardlight, Black Cat. Don't get yourself stuck behind the Black Cat death proofs. It doesn't matter if she's at 20% life for whatever reason. Don't start telling her down, okay? The retaliates she does, all the stuff she does, it's just not worth it. Robbie first, then Photon, then Hardlight, and then Black Cat. Even if I thought that the Falcon Punch could have killed the Black Cat here, I wouldn't have risked it. Doesn't matter. So I wasn't able to find where this creation came from. It was recommended to me on Twitch. I was told that Duartic had something like this. I went through his videos. I was able to find one where he was talking about big time with the Horsemen, beating everything before Secret Defenders. I couldn't find his video on this particular team. That doesn't mean it's not there though. So if he did do this, shout out to him for that. It's definitely a really good team. And if he does message me, because I reached out to him, if he does message me with the video, I'm gonna make sure that the links are as with Dogbert and SeggsyJexy in the comment sections below. Make sure you follow all the Marvel Strike Force content creators. They all do their own thing. They all have specialties, and for the most part, everyone's great, right? All right. Look, you give credit. You give credit where it's due. This is a really good team. I have not lost an arena battle since then, and as somebody who just hates the arena because collusion is awful, this was great. Let's go talk about where this completely falls off a cliff. All right, I made some comments a couple seconds ago about when this is going to completely flop and no longer work. And that's going to be when you have Skrull, when you're facing Skrull, all that, okay? Why? Well, because, you know, we need Hardlight to counter the Apocalypse. We need Black Cat because Black Cat does the anti-turn meter rewind, and you need Robbie Reyes for bleeds, flipping buffs, ability block, insane damage. I think he gives the damage buff to Black Cat and Hardlight too. So they're unskippable. Apocalypse does anti-focus to the enemy's first turn, plus he's got that Falcon Punch. It's pretty hard to beat that, even for Big Time Spider-Man. And then Skrull would replace Big Time Spider-Man. Also, if you're facing a Skrull and you use Big Time Spider-Man, you're putting 2 debuffs immediately on the enemy, which fuels that Super Skrull to get speed bar. Now, that Super Skrull is already going to have a bunch of speed bar from the on-spawn buffs of that team regardless. So just giving him more helps him reach that ultimate more, helps him put you in the dirt that much faster. Now, I don't have Super Skrull. There's no Super Skrull in my bracket, so I haven't been able to practice against it. But I have heard it's an absolute nightmare. I should be getting Super Skrull in about a month and a half, depending on, you know, how much... I hate Gear 18. I hate it so much. Yeah, so I just don't know about Super Scroll. You're gonna have to check out one of the other 3 content creators, see if they're facing a Super Scroll, or anybody see if they're facing Super Scroll. And that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful to you in climbing higher in the arena, you know, against all the collusion and against stupid payout timers. I hope it helps you regardless, because this was a highly sought out for video. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day. Bye for now. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.